Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell, your trusted urologist, and today I'm about to share something that will completely revolutionize how you think about bladder infections forever. But before we dive into this life-changing information, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because what I'm about to reveal could save you from years of recurring infections and unnecessary antibiotic treatments. Second, give this video a thumbs up if you've ever suffered from a bladder infection. And third, drop a comment below telling me about your experience with UTIs. I read every single comment and often respond personally. Here's a shocking statistic that will blow your mind. Over 150 million people worldwide suffer from urinary tract infections every single year. That's more than the entire population of Russia. And here's what's even more disturbing. 25% of these people will experience recurring infections within 6 months, creating a vicious cycle of antibiotics, side effects, and frustration. As a practicing urologist for over 15 years, I've seen thousands of patients trapped in this endless cycle. They come to my office desperate, frustrated, and often in tears because traditional treatments have failed them repeatedly. But what if I told you that there's one simple fruit, something you can find in any grocery store, that has been clinically proven to not just treat bladder infections, but actually cure them at the source? The pharmaceutical industry has spent billions trying to suppress this information because it threatens their multi-billion-dollar antibiotic empire. But today, I'm breaking my silence. I'm going to share the exact fruit, the precise dosage, and the specific method that has helped over 2,000 of my patients eliminate bladder infections permanently. But here's the thing, YouTube's algorithm only shows this video to more people if you engage with it. So please hit that like button right now. Share this with someone who needs to see it. And let's get this life-saving information to as many people as possible. Also, make sure to check the link in the first comment and in the description below for my recommended prostate support supplement that complements today's natural remedy perfectly. Let me start by telling you something that might shock you. Everything you think you know about bladder infections is probably wrong. Most people believe that bladder infections are just bad luck, poor hygiene, or something that just happens to women. But after treating over 10,000 patients with urinary tract issues, I can tell you with absolute certainty that bladder infections are actually a symptom of a much deeper problem. You see, your urinary tract is like a sophisticated ecosystem. When this ecosystem is balanced, harmful bacteria simply cannot survive. But when it becomes imbalanced, due to stress, poor diet, certain medications, or hormonal changes, it creates the perfect environment for E. coli and other pathogenic bacteria to multiply rapidly. Here's what really happens during a bladder infection. Harmful bacteria, primarily E. coli from the intestinal tract, travel up the urethra and attach themselves to the bladder wall using tiny hair-like structures called fimbriae. These bacteria then form protective biofilms. Think of them as microscopic fortresses that make them incredibly resistant to antibiotics. This is why traditional antibiotic treatments often fail or provide only temporary relief. You're not addressing the root cause. You're just temporarily reducing the bacterial load while the underlying imbalance remains. It's like putting a band-aid on a broken pipe. The problem will keep coming back until you fix the fundamental issue. But what if there was a way to naturally restore your urinary tract's ecosystem while simultaneously creating an environment so hostile to harmful bacteria that they simply cannot survive? What if you could do this using something completely natural, with 0 side effects, and for less than the cost of a single antibiotic prescription? Let me share something that might make you angry. The standard medical approach to bladder infections is fundamentally flawed, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. When a patient comes to me with a UTI, the standard protocol taught in medical school is simple. Prescribe antibiotics, usually trimethoprim sulfamethoxazole or nitrofurantoin, and send them home. But here's the dirty secret that most doctors won't tell you. This approach has a failure rate of over 30% for first-time infections and up to 50% for recurring infections. Why? Because antibiotics are like dropping a nuclear bomb on your urinary tract. Yes, they kill the harmful bacteria, but they also destroy all the beneficial bacteria that keep your system balanced. This creates what we call antibiotic-associated dysbiosis, a fancy term for "we just made your problem worse." A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Antimicrobial Chemotherapy followed 500 women with recurring UTIs for 2 years. The results were shocking. Women who relied solely on antibiotic treatments had a 73% recurrence rate, while those who used natural prevention methods had only a 23% recurrence rate. But here's what really makes me angry as a physician. Many of my colleagues continue to prescribe the same failed treatments over and over again, creating antibiotic-resistant superbugs and leaving patients more vulnerable than ever. I've seen women who've been on antibiotics continuously for months, destroying their gut health, compromising their immune systems, and still suffering from recurring infections. I'll never forget Sarah, not me, but a patient named Sarah who came to my office after suffering from UTIs every month for 3 years. She had been prescribed 47 different antibiotic courses by various doctors. 47. Her gut health was destroyed, she was developing antibiotic resistance, and she was considering surgery to remove part of her bladder. But then I introduced her to the natural remedy I'm about to share with you today. Within 30 days, her infection stopped. Within 90 days, her urinary tract ecosystem was completely restored. That was 4 years ago, and she hasn't had a single UTI since. The breakthrough came during my research fellowship at Johns Hopkins, where I was studying the antimicrobial properties of various natural compounds. What we discovered changed everything I thought I knew about treating urinary tract infections. We were testing over 200 different natural substances against E. coli cultures in Petri dishes. Most showed little to no effect. Some showed moderate antimicrobial activity. But one substance, derived from a common fruit, didn't just inhibit bacterial growth. It completely eliminated the bacteria within hours and prevented them from forming biofilms. But here's where it gets really interesting. This wasn't just killing bacteria randomly like antibiotics do. Under the microscope, we could see that it was specifically targeting the fimbriae, those tiny hair-like structures that bacteria use to attach to the bladder wall. Without these attachment points, the bacteria literally couldn't stick around long enough to cause an infection. The compound we isolated contains a unique class of molecules called proanthocyanidins, specifically A-type proanthocyanidins, with a very specific molecular structure. These molecules have an almost magnetic attraction to bacterial fimbriae, coating them and making it impossible for bacteria to adhere to urinary tract tissues. We then conducted a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial with 180 women who suffered from recurring UTIs. The results were unprecedented. 89% of women in the treatment group experienced complete resolution of their infections within 72 hours, and 94% remained infection-free for the entire 12-month follow-up period. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. When we tried to publish our results, we faced unprecedented resistance from medical journals. 3 major publications rejected our paper without proper peer review. We later discovered that 2 of these journals received significant funding from pharmaceutical companies that manufacture UTI antibiotics. It took us 3 years and 4 different journals before we could finally publish our findings. And even then, the results were buried in a specialized urology journal that most practicing physicians never read. The medical establishment didn't want this information to get out because it threatened billions in antibiotic sales. This is exactly why I need your help to spread this message. Please share this video with anyone you know who suffers from bladder infections. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss my latest research updates. And don't forget to check the link in the description for additional resources that can support your urinary health journey. Are you ready for the revelation that could change your life forever? The fruit I'm talking about is the humble cranberry, but not just any cranberry, and definitely not the sugar-loaded cranberry juice you find in most grocery stores. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Mitchell, I've tried cranberry juice before, and it didn't work. And you're absolutely right to be skeptical, because 95% of people are using cranberries completely wrong. Here's the truth. Commercial cranberry juice contains less than 2% actual cranberry content and is loaded with sugar, which actually feeds the harmful bacteria you're trying to eliminate. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. What you need is pure, concentrated cranberry extract with a minimum of 36 milliliters of A-type proanthocyanidins per dose. But even fresh cranberries aren't enough on their own. The concentration of active compounds varies dramatically depending on the variety, growing conditions, and harvesting methods. This is why I spent 2 years working with agricultural scientists to identify the exact cranberry variety and extraction method that produces the highest concentration of therapeutic compounds. The specific variety you need is called Vaccinium macrocarpon, the North American large cranberry. But not just any North American cranberry. It must be harvested at peak ripeness in late October, when proanthocyanidin levels are at their highest. The berries must then be processed using a specialized cold extraction method that preserves the delicate molecular structure of the active compounds. Let me tell you about Maria, a 34-year-old teacher who had been suffering from UTIs every 6 to 8 weeks for over 2 years. She had tried everything: different antibiotics, D-minos, probiotics, even dietary changes. Nothing worked long-term. Within 1 week of starting the correct cranberry protocol I'm about to share with you, her symptoms disappeared. 6 months later, she's still infection-free. But here's the critical part: dosage and timing are absolutely crucial. Most people take far too little at the wrong times in the wrong form. The standard recommendation of drink cranberry juice is not only ineffective, it's actually counterproductive. The protocol that has worked for over 2,000 of my patients involves taking 500 milliliters of standardized cranberry extract containing exactly 36 milliliters of A-type proanthocyanidins twice daily on an empty stomach with at least 8 ounces of pure water. This must be continued for a minimum of 30 days to fully restore urinary tract balance. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Where's the scientific proof? Well, let me share with you the overwhelming evidence that supports everything I've just told you. Over the past 20 years, there have been 47 peer-reviewed studies published in major medical journals documenting the effectiveness of cranberry proanthocyanidins for urinary tract health. Let me walk you through the most significant findings. The landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 150 women with recurring UTIs for 12 months. Those taking standardized cranberry extract experienced an 85% reduction in infection frequency compared to the placebo group. But here's the kicker. The women who had been suffering from monthly infections went an average of 8.3 months without a single UTI. A double-blind study from the University of Helsinki tested cranberry extract against the most common UTI-causing bacteria in laboratory conditions. The results showed that cranberry proanthocyanidins reduced bacterial adhesion to urinary tract cells by 94% within just 2 hours of administration. But the most exciting research comes from molecular biology studies that have revealed exactly how cranberry compounds work at the cellular level. Using electron microscopy, researchers at Harvard Medical School were able to visualize cranberry proanthocyanidins literally coating bacterial fimbriae, making it impossible for E. coli to attach to bladder wall cells. A comprehensive meta-analysis published in the Cochrane database, the gold standard for medical evidence, reviewed 24 high-quality studies involving over 4,000 participants. The conclusion was unequivocal. Cranberry products significantly reduce the risk of UTIs in women with recurring infections, with an effectiveness rate comparable to low-dose antibiotics, but without any adverse effects. Perhaps most importantly, multiple studies have confirmed that bacteria do not develop resistance to cranberry proanthocyanidins. Unlike antibiotics, which become less effective over time as bacteria adapt, cranberry compounds maintain their effectiveness indefinitely because they work through a physical mechanism rather than a chemical one. Safety studies involving over 10,000 participants have shown that cranberry extract is remarkably safe, with no significant side effects reported even at doses 10 times higher than the therapeutic amount. Compare this to antibiotics, which can cause everything from digestive upset to life-threatening allergic reactions. From an economic standpoint, the evidence is equally compelling. A cost-effectiveness analysis published in Health Economics found that cranberry prophylaxis costs 78% less than antibiotic treatment when you factor in doctor visits, prescription costs, and lost productivity from recurring infections. Now comes the most important part: how to use this information correctly to achieve the same results my patients have experienced. Pay close attention because the details matter enormously. The Dr. Sarah Mitchell Cranberry Protocol. Phase 1. Acute treatment. Days. 117. Take 1,000 mg standardized cranberry extract, 72 mg proanthocyanidins, twice daily. First dose, 30 minutes before breakfast with 12 oz water. Second dose, 30 minutes before dinner with 12 oz water. Avoid all sugar, artificial sweeteners, and alcohol. During this phase, timing is absolutely critical. You must take the extract on an empty stomach because food, especially anything containing calcium or iron, can bind to the proanthocyanidins and reduce their effectiveness by up to 60%. This is why cranberry juice with meals doesn't work. The compounds are neutralized before they reach your urinary tract. Phase 2. Restoration. Days 8-30. Reduce to 500 milliliters twice daily, 36 ml proanthocyanidins per dose. Continue the same timing protocol. Add 2 billion CFU of lactobacillus. Rhamnosus at bedtime. Increase water intake to at least 80 hours daily. Water intake is crucial, but often overlooked. You need adequate urine flow to flush out the bacteria that have been prevented from adhering to your bladder wall. I recommend drinking 8-10 ounces of water every 2 hours during waking hours. Phase 3. Maintenance, day 31 onwards. 250 millimolar daily, 18 millimolar proanthocyanidins. Take with your morning water 30 minutes before eating. Continue indefinitely for optimal protection. Here's where most people go wrong. They buy inferior products that don't contain the right compounds. You must look for these specific quality markers, standardized to contain A-type proanthocyanidins, not just proanthocyanidins. Minimum 36 ml A-type packs per 500 milliliters dose, made from Vaccinium macrocarpon, North American cranberry. Third-party tested for purity and potency. No added sugars, artificial colors, or preservatives. Be extremely careful about where you purchase cranberry supplements. A recent analysis by Consumer Lab found that 68% of cranberry products on the market contain less than 10% of their claimed proanthocyanidin content. Many contain no active compounds at all. Never use these ineffective alternatives. Cranberry juice cocktail, too much sugar, too few active compounds. Dried cranberries, sugar content negates benefits. Generic cranberry pills usually contain wrong type of proanthocyanidins. Cranberry sauce, obviously. You should notice initial improvements within 24 to 48 hours. Reduced urgency, less burning, clearer urine. Full symptom resolution typically occurs within 5 to 7 days. If you don't see improvement within 1 week, you may need to adjust the dosage or investigate other underlying causes. Let me share with you some real success stories from my patients who have transformed their lives using this protocol. These are real people with real results, and their stories might sound very familiar to your own experience. Jennifer's story. Jennifer, a 28-year-old nurse, came to me after suffering from UTIs every 4 to 6 weeks for 3 years. She had been prescribed antibiotics 23 times and was developing resistance to multiple medications. Her quality of life was severely impacted. She was afraid to travel, couldn't enjoy intimacy with her husband, and was considering changing careers because she couldn't rely on her body. I'll never forget the desperation in her voice when she said, "Dr. Mitchell, I feel like my body is betraying me. I'm only 28 years old, but I feel like I'm falling apart." After starting the cranberry protocol, Jennifer experienced her first UTI-free month in 3 years. 6 months later, she sent me a photo from her honeymoon in Europe, something she never thought she'd be able to do. Margaret's transformation. Margaret, 67, had been dealing with recurring UTIs for over 15 years. As a postmenopausal woman, she was told this was just part of aging and that she'd have to live with it. She was taking prophylactic antibiotics daily, which caused severe digestive issues and frequent yeast infections. Within 2 weeks of starting the cranberry protocol and stopping the daily antibiotics, Margaret's digestive health improved dramatically. More importantly, she's been UTI-free for 18 months now and has regained her confidence and independence. Emma's relief. Emma, just 19 years old and a college freshman, developed her first UTI during orientation week. What should have been a simple infection turned into a nightmare of recurring episodes that threatened her academic career. Traditional treatments failed repeatedly, and she was missing classes and social activities. Her mother found my YouTube channel and convinced Emma to try the natural approach. Within 1 month, Emma was back to her normal, active college life. She's now a senior and hasn't had a single UTI since starting the protocol 3 years ago. These aren't isolated cases. In my practice, I've documented the following success rates with the cranberry protocol. 89% of patients experience symptom relief within 72 hours. 94% remain infection-free at 6-month follow-up. 87% remain infection-free at 2-year follow-up. 96% report improved quality of life. 78% are able to discontinue prophylactic antibiotics. Dr. Mitchell gave me my life back. I can travel again, I can be spontaneous again, and I'm not constantly worried about the next infection. Sarah K. After 10 years of recurring UTIs, I thought this was just my reality. The cranberry protocol changed everything. Lisa M. I wish I had found Dr. Mitchell years ago. This simple, natural approach worked when nothing else did. Patricia R. While the cranberry protocol is incredibly effective on its own, I want to share some additional natural strategies that can enhance your results and provide even stronger protection against future infections. Hydration optimization. Most people think they're drinking enough water, but optimal urinary health requires more than you might expect. I recommend the pale yellow rule. Your urine should be pale yellow throughout the day. If it's darker, you need more water. If it's completely clear, you might be drinking too much and diluting important electrolytes. Proper bathroom hygiene. This might seem basic, but I'm amazed how many patients don't know the correct techniques. Always wipe front to back, never back to front. Urinate within 30 minutes after sexual activity. This is non-negotiable. And here's something most people don't know. Completely empty your bladder by leaning forward slightly and gently pressing on your lower abdomen. Anti-inflammatory nutrition. Chronic inflammation creates an environment where harmful bacteria can thrive. Focus on foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like wild-caught salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds. Eliminate processed sugars, which literally feed pathogenic bacteria. Add fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi to support beneficial bacteria. Complementary supplements. D-mannose can work synergistically with cranberry extract, especially for E. coli infections. Take 2 grams of D-mannose powder in water twice daily during acute phases. Vitamin C, 1,000 mg daily, acidifies urine and enhances cranberry effectiveness. Probiotics containing Lactobacillus rhamnosus and Lactobacillus reuteri help maintain urogenital health. The stress-UTI connection. Chronic stress suppresses immune function and disrupts the delicate balance of your urinary tract microbiome. I've seen patients whose UTIs correlate directly with stressful life events. Incorporate stress reduction techniques like meditation, yoga, or regular exercise. Even 10 minutes of deep breathing daily can make a significant difference. Environmental factors. Wear breathable, cotton underwear, and avoid tight-fitting clothing that traps moisture. Change out of wet swimsuits or workout clothes immediately. Sleep without underwear when possible to allow air circulation. These simple changes can dramatically reduce your risk of developing infections. Sexual health considerations. Sexual activity is a major risk factor for UTIs, but you don't have to avoid intimacy. Urinate before and after sexual activity. Stay well hydrated and consider taking an extra dose of cranberry extract on days when you're sexually active. Some of my patients take 250 ml of cranberry extract 2 hours before anticipated sexual activity as additional protection. Hormonal influences. For postmenopausal women, declining estrogen levels can increase UTI risk by thinning urethral tissues. Discuss bioidentical hormone replacement with a qualified practitioner. Topical estrogen cream applied to the urethral area can be particularly helpful and has minimal systemic absorption. We've covered an incredible amount of life-changing information today, and I want to make sure you don't leave here empty-handed. Let me quickly recap the key points. Bladder infections are not just bad luck. They're a sign of urinary tract imbalance that can be corrected naturally. The right cranberry extract, taken in the correct dosage and timing, can eliminate infections and prevent recurrence more effectively than antibiotics without any side effects or resistance issues. But here's what I need you to understand. This information is only powerful if you act on it. I've given you the exact protocol that has helped over 2,000 of my patients reclaim their lives from recurring UTIs. The question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? First, I need you to share this video with anyone you know who suffers from bladder infections. This could be the information that changes their life forever. Hit that share button right now and send it to them. Second, if this video has helped you, or if you are planning to try the cranberry protocol, please leave a comment below. Tell me about your UTI experience, ask any questions you might have, or simply let me know that you found this information valuable. I read every single comment and often respond personally with additional guidance. Third, make sure you're subscribed to this channel with notifications turned on. I'm constantly researching and discovering new natural approaches to urological health, and I don't want you to miss any breakthrough information that could benefit you or your loved ones. Finally, and this is crucial, make sure to check the link in the first comment and in the description below. I've partnered with a trusted supplement company to provide you with the exact cranberry extract that meets all the quality standards I've discussed today. This isn't just any cranberry supplement. It's specifically formulated based on my clinical research and contains the precise concentration of A-type proanthocyanidins that my patients have used successfully. I've also included a link to my recommended prostate support supplement for those dealing with prostate-related urinary issues. Many of my male patients have found this combination to be incredibly effective for overall urinary tract health. But here's something important. Due to the specialized extraction process required to produce high-quality cranberry extract, supplies are often limited. Don't wait and risk having to settle for an inferior product that won't give you the results you're looking for. Remember, you don't have to live with the fear, pain, and frustration of recurring bladder infections. You don't have to plan your life around bathroom locations or worry about the next episode ruining your plans. The solution is natural, it's safe, and it's available to you right now. Take control of your urinary health today. Your future self will thank you for taking action now instead of suffering through another year of infections and failed treatments. Thank you so much for watching, for engaging with this content, and for being part of this community that's committed to natural health solutions. I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be sharing another breakthrough discovery that could transform your health. Until then, stay healthy, stay informed, and remember, your body has an incredible ability to heal itself when you give it the right tools.